Dear Capricorn, feeling Grasshopper here to do your reading for the first week in August, the 1st through the 8th. Untangle my pendulum here. I just realized it was tangled. Okay, let, that's a fumble. Let's see what we got. Ace of Swords. Glad to see that. So, right out of the gate, we're talking about clarity. Okay, very good. Clarity about what we are overthinking and kind of micromanaging in our lives. Because Lord knows Capricorns and Earth signs tend to do this a lot. You know, Capricorns, we like to feel like we've got everything under control all the time. I know I do. I'm a Capricorn sun, and I'm constantly having to remind myself to let things go. Um, okay. So, Capricorns, especially, the entire collective has been kind of recalculating this year because there, there have been a lot of astrological changes and moving toward more productive energies, where before it was more destructive energy. Um, but destructive in the way that you tear down an old building to build up a new one, right? So we're in that phase where we're kind of cleaning up the rubble and we're just starting to build, right? So in that energy, there's kind of a moment that we're taking here to assess things. Like, what really do we want to build? What things are we taking with us? What things are we discarding? You know, and specifically in terms of habits, right? What are we going to change about ourselves so that we can make our lives better? So, and I wouldn't be surprised if the devil didn't show up in this reading because this is very much that kind of air of, what habits do we have in our lives that are holding us back? Because here's the Page of Wands at the kind of the end of the sentence here that talks about really closely assessing what we're going to do moving forward. Knight of Pentacles, not reversed. Okay. Also, very Earth sign, very Capricorn card. This is us making progress, but it's very slow progress. And this kind of progress can be really frustrating. Um, Even for a Capricorn, I mean, this card, if you were to define a Capricorn's life, is this. You know, we make progress, but it's slow and laborious, and it takes us forever to get there. We are the tortoise. We are the tortoise and the tortoise in the hare story. Um, it's really super slow, but we get there. We get there. And then the people around us are like, wait a minute, how did Capricorn get here? Why is everything always so easy for Capricorn? I was just talking about this last month in one of the readings. I don't know if I was talking directly to you, but at the very least, I was talking about us. How, Capricorn, people tend to look at Capricorn like, why is everything so easy for Capricorn? And, Capricorn just, we throw our head back and, you know, get a good belly laugh out of that. Like, are you kidding? Like, no one suffers more than a Capricorn, but we don't let people see it, right? We never let people see us sweat. Anyway, that was a little tangent, but this is all, contained in this energy here of the Knight of Pentacles, where, things are slow, but we're getting there. Um, from these four cards alone, we'll see what the rest of the cards say. But this is a change of energy. Because for the past 6 months, I've been seeing the other signs, especially the fire signs, um, having a quicker change of energy. Like things are really going well from my eyes anyway. From my earth sign colored glasses, I've been like, wow, Aries is really, really blooming. But, while Aries was really moving quickly into their energy, we were still kind of suffering 6 months ago. And I was telling you guys, things are changing. Things are changing. And a lot of you were like, Grasshopper does not know what she's talking about. Things are still horrible, right? And I was like, I know how you feel. Don't worry. It's going to change. Here it is. I'm starting to see it finally changing. I feel like 95% of you can finally nod your head along with me saying, okay, I do see some changes, which is, I'm very happy because I was feeling really frustrated that I couldn't get through to you guys, that things were changing because I was feeling the way you were feeling. Empathically, I was feeling what you were feeling, like frustrated and not on the same page with me. And I really wanted you guys to realize that spirit is working in the background with you. So I see it here. You're starting to believe it. I'm glad. Temperance. In the middle of your reading is talking about alchemizing. This is like the magician card. It's like the magician card, the judgment card. This is being in harmony with what you feel you can accomplish and recognizing your strengths, not just your material strengths, but this is Capricorn also starting to come into your spiritual strengths. Because I need to remind the earth signs often about their spiritual strengths, because we are more than the other signs immersed in earth, in our material concerns, and we kind of forget the spiritual side of ourselves. But here we are in this month really starting to attune to that spirituality that was always there, but we kind of add a little extra spark to that spirituality by turning our attention to it. I just got the vision of like a pilot light, in a stove. The pilot light is always lit. It's always there, you know. But when we turn our attention to it, it's like woof, turning on the stove. That's what this is here, right? And if you see the progression of cards here with the Knight of Pentacles, this is you moving slowly, but this is you acknowledging it, acknowledging the pilot light and like taking a light to it, and here you are. alchemizing. We have our energy brewing up to manifest here. Page of Swords, more clarity. Okay. See, and I love the way this is confirming what I was just talking about, how you're paying attention to the flame, the pilot light, right? Here you are, like feeding air to the fire. You are focusing your mind on your ability to manifest and you really believing in it and starting to work with it. You have the Ten of Wands here under the Knight of Pentacles, of course. This is just a general Saturnian energy. This is a reminder to me, and Spirit, I didn't need the reminder because it's always there with me. I am Capricorn Sun. This is what this is talking about here is you're feeling that things are moving slowly, but what's important is that you believe now in your heart that it's at least moving, that you're not stagnant. But that feeling of being stagnant and like encumbered, with lots of things and like buried and overwhelmed by things is still there, And again, very Saturnian. This is how we feel our whole lives. But the message of this card is always that to remind us that there is a reason why we're going through all of this. Because I'm going to point out the castle to you at the corner of this card, like I always do, because it's all about the castle here. You are moving towards this castle, which represents abundance and luxury and enjoyment and that kind of thing. But here he is exerting himself with these wands that he can't see past because he's so involved in it. Um, so this is just reminding you that you are not working in vain, right? But I'm also, my eyes are led back up to the Four of Pentacles here, where you are really need to assess what areas in your life are you overworking? Are you spinning your wheels in? What ways can you work smarter and not harder? And that's something Capricorns, we're good at that. We can get bogged down in minutia. Earth signs tend to do that, but we're also good problem solvers. We can figure things out, and goats are very good at that. That's why they always depict us on a sheer cliff, traversing all these impossible ledges. We can work through it, but there are times that we just kind of get stuck. Um, what did I say about your intuition and perfect under temperance? Wow. I'm so happy to see this, Capricorn. Um, yeah, I think you get the message with this. It's just take this thought with you. The Ten of Wands and the Four of Pentacles really are the two very important cards. They're all important, but the most important cards here because there needs to because there are so many things in our earthbound lives that we can give ourselves a break in. We don't need to feel like this. We can make life easier for ourselves. We just have to figure out how to. High Priestess, under the temperance, is what I was talking about before. Plugging into our spiritual selves and making use of all of the spiritual gifts that are gifted to us. We have these armies, these spiritual armies behind us. I don't know if you guys remember the Verizon commercials. Can you hear me now? Commercials. I used to love those because um, they remind me of my spirit guides. And I don't think that that's unique to me. I feel that people always say spirit guide. I don't think the average person has, I would think, a group of spirit guides. It's not just one guardian angel. Anyway, I know I have many. Um, what does that have to do with the high priestess? It made me think of that crowd behind you and how you can forget that that crowd is behind you. But when you're in difficulty here, all you have to do is turn around. Just take a second and have a little huddle with that Verizon group. Like, I need help. What are we going to do next? What am I doing that's not efficient in my life that I can discard or do something better, different in my life? How can I delegate? Whatever it is, Capricorn. And I was just about to say delegate, something very, very difficult for Capricorns and Virgos. Taurus, not so much. They know how to delegate. But it might take them a little bit to figure out what to delegate. For us, we're like this all the time. We're holding on very tightly to everything because, we feel like nobody's going to do it better than us. We might as well just do it ourselves, but we can't do everything, Capricorn. You can't. Unless you want to continue to feel like this. And you know what? It's going to take you longer to get to that castle. Let's get to the castle so we can put our feet up, right? And have our banquet already. Yeah, sure. We've got Four of Cups. Yeah. There's been quite a few readings that I've had in the recent past, not just with Capricorn, but like with the entire collective, where it's like, oh, look at the healthy progress. It's beautiful. And that this position is always like Five of Pentacles, the devil. The Five of Pentacles is the one with the two people out in the blizzard outside of the church, like, oh, everything's terrible, the sky is falling, you know? So, right? And this is Spirit's way of reminding me to tell you to that the energy is changing. And I'm going to continue to tell you that for several months because the bad taste is still in our mouths from the past 20 years of having Pluto just wreck everything in our lives all the time. Us being Sisyphus and rolling that boulder up the hill all the damn time and the boulder falling and we have to go get the boulder. It's the constant for 20 years. There's nothing going right for us. We feel the opposite of the Midas touch type energy. So, yes, we may be emerging through it now, from it now. And yes, we may have a feeling here and there that we are emerging, but still, that feeling of, oh, nothing ever works well for me remains with us, especially because no matter how advantageous our energy and supportive our energy, you know, turns into, we are still going to face challenges no matter what, right? But it's important that we don't face challenges like this. We need to face challenges like this Page of Wands, right? Because the Page of Wands, and that's why it's in this line here too, because the Page of Wands, look at how he's looking at this wand like, oh, this is something new that's being presented to me. What am I going to do with this wand? What fabulous things am I going to create? That kind of thing. And then Page of Swords, of course, is clarity moving forward, right? But this energy is like, skirt, like everything is stagnant. This guy's arms are crossed. He's not doing anything at all because he is just pouting and ruminating over what's happened to him in the past. And now that he's got support here that is inside of this cup, this is love and support from the universe. We don't even see it because we're so, enveloped in this, negative energy, negative memories and attitude that we've had. It's time to let it go and move into our Page of Wands energy. Yeah. Three of Wands. Um, this is talking about healing from the past, and so is both of these are. This is still the reminder that we have not fully emerged from the pain and heartbreak and I don't know, turmoil that we've been through, right? But this is not to say, like, hurry up and get over it. It's more of just a statement of where we still are. Um, but we need to push forward so that our lives can be better because we don't want to be wallowing in this for the rest of our lives, right? Uh, that much I'm sure we can all agree on. We don't want to be here anymore. This is not fun. This is not fun. It does not feel good. We want to be over here in at the castle already. I'm here to tell you we're on our way. But I mean, this heart means something to everybody listening right now. And this heart means something to me as a Capricorn sun, right? Very, very painful things happened in my life. Very, very painful and difficult things happened in your life as well. We all experienced it. But it's time for us to really look at this and say it's behind us now. We didn't deserve what we, went through. People have put us through terrible things, but it's it's our time now to enjoy life. This is over and done with. And I would love to see the Ten of Swords right now. Over and done with. We're not going to beat a dead horse. What else we got? What do we have for clarification, Spirit? The Hanged Man. We'll see if that's reversed in a moment. It's about a change in perspective, which is why it's coming out on top of the Ace of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Glad to see it. King of Wands just fell out of the deck onto my lap. King of Wands is all about innovation. And you guys probably heard me say this before. This is my Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos card. Um, he is not afraid to change things and do something new. And he will get that vision and be absolutely confident and positive that, what he has in his mind, he is going to be able to manifest it out into the world. And, he's confident and excited about it and, can muster up that fire in his belly to produce it. Right? Which is why it's turning out here. This is the King of Wands, and he's facing this Four of Pentacles too. He is assessing what is inefficient in his life because King of Wands is all about efficiency. He wants to know how to get to his objective as quickly as possible. So he is over here assessing things, which I'm happy to see him there. What does this mean to you, Capricorn? It means that at some point this month, you are really going to move into this energy of really seeing how, oh, you know what? I've come into this habit that I've had for a while now. This isn't working out for me. I don't think I should do this anymore. Let's do this differently. Why don't I delegate this? Why don't I, you know, pay maybe a little more for that app that makes things easier to edit or I don't know, whatever it is in your life that will make things easier and more efficient for you. Then this is you getting past the Page of Wands energy and really letting that energy blossom into the King of Wands. Because the Page of Wands is not productive yet. Page of Wands is, preparing to be productive. He is assessing what he needs to do to move forward. This is King of Wands fully in that power of action and getting results too. So it's going to be a good month for us. Look, more wands. Three of wands, but hangman reversed? No. Okay. Hangman's really quickly, we're going to get past it. We were talking about, and it's here over the Ace of Swords. We were talking about clarity. Hangman is about perspective. So it's very much related to the clarity, goes with it. Clarity, a good perspective moving forward, which is something that you need to overcome the Four of Pentacles energy, spinning your wheels. We are going to get past that. The Three of Wands over here is talking about um, your expectation. And it's coming out after the King of Wands. Remember, I told you that um, he has a vision. He's confident about his ideas and knowing that he can implement them, right? And getting to work. This is after the King of Wands has put things in motion, and now he is in his expectation mode of, yeah, I've put things in place. I know that this is going to produce something good for me. This is the waiting for your ships to come in card. But this is only partially passive card, right? Because yes, he looks passive here. He's on the top of this hill, um, not moving with his holding his wand. So it looks passive, but he has done a whole lot of work to get to where he is. Yeah. There's the Three of Swords again. But there's nothing to be sad about in this Three of Swords here. This is gathering the clarity, the strength, the action, the forethought, all of the positive things that you need in um, producing something new, but in the midst of your pain. Like, yeah, you're in pain, but you're doing all of this. So, all that's saying. Two more, please. I'm feeling a whole lot of pride right now. I'm very proud of you, Capricorn, because you've been through a lot, a lot. I know you have, because I've been through it with you for the past 2 years. You guys telling me how difficult things have been. I appreciate all of your comments, by the way. I miss speaking to my Capricorns. I haven't heard from you guys so much lately. I answer every single comment, and I love engaging with you guys. So tell me what's on your mind. But you guys have come a long way, and here you guys are working through the pain. I love it because, by the way, Capricorns are no victims. That is for damn sure. We're a lot of things, but victims we are not, right? That doesn't mean that people don't do things to us or whatever, but do we wallow in it like the victim? No. And this is what this is saying, like, yeah, we're no victims. Yeah, we have some wounds, but we're working through it. We're healing. So, oh, look at the Page of Wands again. Love it. Pages. We've got the Page of Pentacles here on top of Temperance. So listen, guys. Page of Pentacles, and it's next to the Knight of Pentacles. Oh my God, this energy. The Page of Pentacles is talking about the fact that in this month, we are going to start to see how things are going to pay off for us. This is the early stages of it. This is kind of like when I, I don't know why I'm thinking about this. Maybe some of you guys have been watching these kind of videos lately. But I was thinking about, those YouTube videos that are like, make $10,000 in a month. Or, what boring job is making a whole lot of money? Like you watch those videos and some of them you're like, oh man, this is so dumb. You know, that's not going to work. This one's not going to work. That's not viable, but then you come across the one video that's like, hmm, I never thought about that before. I think that I could do that. I could totally see how that'll work for me. Um, that kind of thing, that eureka moment, it doesn't have to necessarily be you watching a video, but it's that eureka moment where something comes across your mind and you're like, wow, I think that could work for me. That's what this is, where before we really felt like nothing works for us. We're spinning our wheels. The sky continues to fall and everything I touch turns to shit, you know. But that attitude is starting to change. And then here's the Page of Wands here, which is related. These two energies are very much related. This is you seeing how it's going to pay off and you really starting to absorb the game plan of how you're going to get here. And again, there's that message here of working through the pain, which is going to heal your heart. And It's almost like those times when you're in pain or mourning or whatever, and you have some kind of opportunity to help someone else, and in helping that other person, it kind of makes you feel better. It's that kind of energy where, yeah, you're in pain, but you building a new life for yourself is healing this wound over. And this time, it's not you helping someone else because Capricorn, that's something we do often too. We're always putting our wands down to help someone else. That's not this. In this month, this is all about you, Capricorn, and how you are making your life better. But also, Temperance and the High Priestess here, how spirit, and also the Four of Cups, right? How spirit is right there with you. You're not by yourself, Capricorn. And I remember it was maybe 3 or 4 readings back, I was telling you guys how, Ace of Cups, the same situation where this is pretty much Ace of Cups, and then your reaction to the Ace of Cups is what this is, right? But I was talking about in a few readings back where God was kind of like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Capricorn. I know that was hard for you. But you had to go through that. It was necessary. It's also a little bit of Saturn talking talking as well. Like we had to put you through that to teach you some things to make you stronger. I'm sorry, uh, Capricorn. Here's a milkshake, you know. And I literally said milkshake, and I know that's like kind of silly and frivolous, but like here's something great that'll make you feel better. This is God acknowledging that you've been through quite a bit, but things will get better. They won't always be like this, and you won't have to deal with this alone. All you have to do is turn around and huddle with your Verizon team. And the rest of that commercial goes very well with this. This is Spirit saying, "Can you hear me now?" Okay? You're not alone, guys. Now, no advice cards. Yeah, Spirit hasn't been doing advice cards for a while. It's really because, yeah, it's really because the energy is changing. That's another important thing for you guys to understand here. Those of you who have been with me for a while, most of the time, Spirit will choose an advice card here, and not just for you, for the collective. If you've been watching your rising moon and north node signs too, you'll notice everyone was kind of getting these cards, and lately none. And it's because Spirit was really consoling you before, because like I said, Spirit was very much like, "Oh, I know it's hard, but it'll get better, I promise." Now there's no more really consoling anymore. It's like like, "Oh, it's going to get better." You're in the midst of it getting better. That wheel is now turning, right? So we're in it now, Capricorn. You just have to acknowledge it and pick up that wand and let's go. Let's get it. Like what's his name? Trent Sheldon says, I love him. Okay, guys. So check in with me this month. Tell me how things are going. Listen, especially you Capricorns. Does this you commenting help me out in the algorithm? 100%. But that's not why I tell you to put comments. Number one, I it really does help me um spiritually and mentally. It keeps me going. It makes me feel good to hear from you guys, and I love writing back to you. Number one. Number two, the other thing is if you start expressing that you feel the energy changing, it also is a very nice boost to the other Capricorns who are in that comment section. Because not everyone engages. People really do open the comment section to see what the other people like them are thinking and feeling. You'll be helping the Capricorn collective. Let's support each other. Okay, guys? Even if things, still feel like this. You're still feeling this and you're very much like this. That's fine. You could talk about that too. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Let's get back to our Capricorn community. Leave no Capricorn behind. Okay? Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. It's a very quick and free gesture. Doesn't cost you anything. That means the world to me, guys. So please, I thank you in advance. Don't forget to click the notification bell, by the way, so that you don't miss the future videos. Um, I'm assuming that you're watching your sun sign video right now, but don't forget your moon, your north node, and your rising signs. If you don't know what those are, you can calculate them easily on Google. Just type in calculate my blank, and you'll find tons of sites that'll do it for you for free. Come back here when you know what the sign is and watch the corresponding videos. There will be messages there for you too. Um, I'm going to ask you another favor that would help me if you would like to help me out is watch my playlist. Put me on in the background for background noise. You can put a playlist on to run with autoplay while you sleep because the watch hours really do a lot for my channel and I can really use the watch hours. Okay? So I thank you in advance, my lovely Capricorns. I will speak to you soon. Love, light, and many blessings.